Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Feel Freaking Amazing podcast. I'm Wendy Trubo at Levitan, and today we have Dr. Jeffrey Hockings. He is the founder and CEO of Diabetes Reversal Group, which is a telehealth company helping individuals reverse type 2 diabetes through personalized, evidence-based lifestyle coaching. With over a decade of experience in functional medicine and as the author of 2 books on metabolic health, he's a pioneer in using real-time sugar data and patented protocols to achieve sustainable remission. That sounds like a whole bunch of mouthful, but I think this is going to be really cool. So, Jeff, welcome to the show. And I just have to say, here's my new CGM that I put on last night.
All right.
I was thinking I should buy a thing for it. You know, they have like all these little cute covers that it can elevate your experience. I was like, we're going away next week. I should elevate it and make it look nice. But anyway, welcome to the show, Jeff. We're so happy you're here.
Should probably start next week with mine. Okay.
Totally.
All right. So this is a really important subject that affects so many people. How'd you get into this?
Yeah, why this?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting story. My wife and I, we've been married 33 years, and our first 18 years together, we built and sold 4 wellness centers in Southern California. And we got tired of that whole game, a lot of insurance reimbursement, pain management, whatever. So we decided, we kind of made that goal happen, and we kind of reached the pinnacle, said, okay, enough's enough. We don't want to do that anymore. And we decided to tackle type 2 diabetes because it runs in our family. I had an aunt who died of it when I was younger. And my wife's dad, he just passed away 2 years ago from diabetes. So it's a very personal mission to us. So we decided to tackle it. And when we looked at this, like almost 16 years ago, back then, there was no program somebody could join that showed you exactly what you could eat and not eat with no BS, what supplements to take, right? Provide coaching and actually guarantee results. So we created it. And it's been like a love affair right now for the last 16 years. And here we are. So that's why we got into it. It's a very personal mission. And we're still fired up today about making people freaking amazingly healthy with diabetes. So,
well, it's 16 years. That's a long time. Tell us how it's been going. Like that's a really long time to be in this world, especially in telehealth. Like that.
Yeah. So we just converted guys to the telehealth. Like it's been interesting. We had like 3 variations of our company. The first 9 years, I was doing a seminar every week in a different city all over the world. I did 48 events per year for 9 straight years in 6 countries.
You're a better man than I. That's all I gotta say. We are not worthy because that's a lot.
It's a lot of travel, but that's when we're kind of proving our concept and doing all the tweaking and testing and taking away this food, adding this supplement, and kind of the mad scientist part of trying to crack that code and how you can predictably reverse type 2. So after 9 years of that, we finally cracked the code. That's when we said, okay, now let's apply for our patent. And that's when we did that. And then I got off the road and we started opening up brick and mortar clinics again because my wife and I knew that space, right? We had 4 clinics before. So in 2018 and 19, we opened up 17 brick and mortar clinics across the US, all the way from Honolulu down to Orlando, Florida. And we have leases signed on 13 more locations. And then what happened? Right.
2020.
Right. And so then we had to shut down all of our clinics because the geniuses said that we weren't essential. You can believe that. Liquor stores were essential, but not reversing diabetes. So go figure, right? So that just almost took us out. I mean, we literally, 2 weeks to slow the spread turned into 4 months, and it was really bad. So we shut all those down. Then it took us a few years of just kind of bootstrapping it and then pivoting to our current telemedicine platform. So now we're 100% telemedicine. There's no brick and mortar clinics. And the blessing is now we can reach any diabetic in any English-speaking country because it's all telemedicine. So it's been sort of a good thing, but it was brutal there after COVID. So that's where we are.
Painful to get there.
Beautiful.
How big of a problem are we talking about here?
Oh my gosh, diabetes right now, just in the US, there's over 38 million diabetics. And check this out, 96 million pre-diabetics that are literally like 70% of those actually turn into diabetics. That's just the US. Worldwide, it's 425 million people that have diabetes, and it's costing $966 billion a year. It's almost $1 trillion industry worldwide. So it's gigantic, and unfortunately, it's doing nothing but this. So, but we got the solution.
I just saw 2 days ago, I saw an 18-year-old boy who externally very healthy, got a pre-diabetic diagnosis. Like, what's going on there?
Well, yeah, now let's talk about, we've seen 12-year-olds that have type 2 diabetes. 12-year-olds. Because they're obese, because their knuckleheaded parents are feeding them Happy Meals 7 nights a week, and they're not exercising. They're doing this all day now, right? They're not going out and playing. So
Come
now you
on,
have
there's
these
thumb
kids.
exercise, thumb exercise.
Crazy. Yeah, their thumbs are healthy, but everything else, I mean, it's really getting insane. So yeah, it's a big issue.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm sort of thinking, where do
Yeah.
we want to start with this? So I think what I would like to start with is when I grew up, my grandmothers, they didn't talk to each other, but they would talk about the same things, that essentially diabetes is something you get when you get older. Now,
Mm.
we're in functional medicine, so the inevitable aging and dysfunction is not a conversation that we buy into, but that is, I think, something that people believe, like, oh, you just get diabetes when you're older. That's what
Mhm.
you happens when you get older. Is it
Yeah.
inevitable?
No, it's not inevitable. But typically, people don't get type 2 diabetes until they're in their kind of late 40s, early 50s, because you need to be eating the wrong foods for a couple decades typically before your body develops the insulin resistance, which leads to diabetes. So you can kind of get away with a lot of bad habits in your 20s and 30s because, we're all active, not as much as we used to be, but when you're burning off 8,000 calories a day, running around doing all these things, you can get away with some things, right? But as you get a little bit older and you get a little more sedentary, now your metabolism slows down and now those bad habits start to catch up with you. So it's not inevitable for sure, but it is something that you see in like our average age patient for our program is 65 years old. That doesn't mean we don't have younger ones, but the average is 65. So
I mean, think about it. You see, so I only see women, and you can see the harbingers of diabetes in this elevate in PCOS. So
yeah,
all the women with PCOS and dysfunctional menstrual patterns, you can start to see that this is coming down the pike. And we do a lot of work with metabolic health with our patients because you should never get diabetes on our watch.
yeah,
That's like a non-starter. So
And just to put a plug in, so for us, doctors really look at conventional doctors look at people when they're already diabetic as a problem.
yeah,
Some doctors are really interested in that when they're pre-diabetic, they have a problem.
yeah,
For us, if people are close to pre-diabetes,
it's a problem.
we're starting to freak out.
yeah,
So
Oh, forget. How about just their insulin is a little bit higher than ideal? I'm already like, oh, okay, we got to figure this out. So
yeah,
we're looking at what is your food, what is your movement, what is your stress, what is your sleep? Do you have toxic exposures? Are you getting a lot of plastics in your life? Do you have all of these endocrine disrupting substances that all these patients show up with a coffee from Dunkies in the
yeah.
plastic thing, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
if you're going to drink the moldy coffee that's not organic, at least put it in a metal cup. Don't
Yeah,
walk in here with a
exactly.
plastic cup because it's endocrine
Exactly.
disrupting.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So
let's talk though. Let's back up. So you showed their CGM, and
yeah,
I think that's like we just actually brought on board. We just realized that Dexcom has
The
the
Stella.
Stella, which is
Yeah.
you don't have to prescribe. So that's changing our practice, which has been really cool.
yeah,
Why should people care about CGMs? Tell us a little bit about that.
Say what is a CGM and
Okay.
why
yeah.
should they care?
Yeah, so CGM is continuous glucose monitor. So it's kind of taken the place of the old glucometer where someone had to poke their finger every morning, and stick it in the thing. And nobody likes that. Like they don't want to be like this pin cushion where they're poking their finger all the time, especially if you're taking a lot of insulin where they'd have to poke it like multiple times per day. So now with the CGM, it goes on there and it's there once it's on and it links to your smartphone, right? And so you can check your blood sugar in real time anytime you want. So it's helped a lot of those people that hate poking their finger, which I totally get. So that's the good side of it, right? So you get that real-time feedback, especially for people that, again, are taking insulin where they got to take, some fast acting, slow acting, look what they're eating, everything. And they can really see on their smartphone what they're eating, how it affects their blood sugar in real time, which is cool, right? Without having to poke your finger multiple times a day. So that's the good side of it. Bad side of it, from my perspective, is I think it makes a lot of people way too anxious because they can look at it, every 60 seconds. Oh my gosh, my blood sugar going up. What did I do? And they start freaking out, And so again, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the CGMs Like when people go on our program, when they follow the way we want them to eat, they're not having the highs and the lows. They don't need the CGM. Just take your blood sugar 2 or 3 times a week with a glucometer, and that's it. You don't need this thing stuck on your arm 24/7. So, our ultimate goal is reverse the diabetes. You don't need to wear this, right? That's the ultimate goal. But for type 1 diabetics, where they're insulin dependent, obviously the CGM has been fantastic for them. So again, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it. I totally understand why people like it for convenience and not having to poke their finger. But again, for the negative reasons, again, I think it makes people they freak out, because patients, we tell them just take your blood sugar once a day in the morning, your fasting reading. That's all we want to see. I don't care what it is at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's going to fluctuate throughout the day. Don't worry about it. Just what's your fasting reading? That's the biggest thing that we look for. So,
yeah, I 100% agree with the stress part of it.
Yeah.
And I think I've noticed for our patients, 2 to 4 weeks of wearing the glucometer really makes a difference, because we have a lot of patients that say, I do everything right.
Yeah.
And
sure.
And they believe it.
Right.
I know,
And
yeah.
they actually, some people do.
Yeah.
And some people, tiny amounts of carbs or tiny amounts of even legumes are going to spike their blood sugar.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of, for some people, it's a matter of they have to, no matter what, they have to go for a walk, 10-minute walk after dinner, and they're good. Or whatever one food that they thought was good for them, like oatmeal in the morning,
Yeah.
is not, but they have it in their brain that it is. And
Yeah.
the only way to convince them that it's not is to actually see it. So I do agree that long-term glucometer use is very anxiety provoking.
Yeah. Pros and cons for sure. 100%.
Yeah. We found a month of 2 to 4 weeks of CGM really makes a difference for people to see, okay, where are the places that need work?
Yeah.
So,
but I'm just thinking about this. Like last night, we had chicken pot pie, and there were 4 pies and 5 pounds of chicken. Homemade pies. We made them ourselves. There were 5 pounds of chicken in the chicken pot pie.
Mm-hmm.
So each pie has 1.25 pounds chicken. So I ate a half a pie.
Uh-huh.
And so it's not like a small amount of protein.
No.
And my blood sugar went nuts. I was like, damn.
You had all those,
I had the pie part.
Right.
Exactly.
We don't even put the top on. We don't put the top on the chicken pot pie. It's just the bottom. But it was enough.
Yes.
But then I had lasagna a week ago, and my blood sugar was fine. So it's so interesting to really drill in.
Which is why this
really drilling into what sets it off. Like I had a meal with chicken and chickpeas and something and salad. Yeah. And my blood sugar went up to 258 with the chickpeas. And I was like, is it chickpeas? So I tried it again. It's the chickpeas. So I think it's interesting to get this data about what are you actually reactive to that you have no idea is triggering your body. But I don't do it all the time, and I'll go on and off of it to check in. I just think it's so interesting.
Yeah, so I like your point. That's a good thing. I really never thought about that, of having them to wear it maybe for 2 to 4 weeks, and then you're eating all the things you normally eat. Then you can really see what it is. Then you can avoid the bad ones. Then get this thing off your arm, and then you're good to go, kind of thing. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and I remember, do you remember being in the car with me? So 19 years ago, his mentor diagnosed me with celiac disease, and we were in the ride up, and I'm having this anxiety attack, like, what do I really have? What's going on? So I made him call his mentor as a heads up to say, okay, can you please just tell us in a nutshell what's wrong with Wendy? Because she's freaking out in the car. I was also 6 weeks postpartum. So, I was really out of my mind. And I remember saying to Ed in the car, do I have diabetes? Do I have diabetes? I'm not going to check my finger sticks. If I have diabetes, there's, CGMs weren't around. There was no world in which I could see pricking my fingers 7 times a day. So I was like, do I have diabetes? And he goes, no, you have celiac. I said, oh, my dad has celiac. I can do that. But I was freaking about the possibility of diabetes because of the just distaste I have for finger pricks.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. So you've been in this world for a long time.
Yeah.
Even though you're only 30. So it's
30.
really
Thanks. That's good. Yeah.
What are the lessons you've learned? What are the things that people may not think about? What are the key ingredients to your program that really makes the work stick? Because we all know
Yeah.
eat less carbs, but most of us can't do that. So
Yeah.
what are the things that actually work in your program? You said you had a patent, so I'm actually really curious what that patent is.
What did you patent?
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, what people need to know is that it's 100% reversible. If you're a type 2 diabetic, it is 100% reversible with proper lifestyle changes, right? So now the next thing is, but it's 100% based on compliance, right? If you follow the right program, you'll reverse it. You screw around and you cheat, you're not going to get better, right? It's like joining a gym. Like you got to go to the gym to actually get the benefit. No one's going to do the push-ups for you, right?
Shoot.
So
Now you're telling me.
My example is it's like a condom. It only works if you use it, which drives my kids nuts. They're like, do you say that out loud? I'm like, yeah, I'm a gynecologist. Of course I say that out loud. But
That's
hold on one
hilarious.
second. Can we back up 10 steps, Jeff?
Yeah.
What are the problems with untreated diabetes? Because like diabetes, sure, that's bad. But what is it for people that matters to reverse their diabetes? What are the consequences of diabetes?
Gosh, yeah, the consequences are brutal. I mean, you could literally get blurred vision that can go to diabetic retinopathy that can lead to blindness. You can get kidney stress that can lead to dialysis or needing a kidney transplant. You can get high blood pressure, high cholesterol that can lead to a heart attack or a stroke. You get neuropathy in your feet that can lead to an amputation. It causes ED, causes low sex drive in women, can cause cancer, can cause Alzheimer's. I mean, it's brutal, right?
Well,
So those are the reasons why.
Yeah, I'm double clicking on that type 3 diabetes now, which is now we're calling Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because people like don't care about their eyes per se. That's a long-term thing, but they've seen so many people so many of their families get Alzheimer's.
Yes.
And they don't realize that the elevated blood sugar is massive.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you too, guys, like what I've seen with our doing this for 16 years, like 90% of our patients that join, they join because they're scared, right? Something happened. They start getting some kind of symptom. They're like, holy crap. Like, okay, now I'm scared. Because when someone's like in their mid 40s, just got diagnosed, taking like 500 milligrams of metformin, no symptoms, feeling pretty good, like, I'm okay. There's no urgency for them. Like, unfortunately, they got to get worse before they stop screwing around. Because like you said, nobody wants to change their lifestyle, right? They want the shortcut. So we see people that see our webinars and hear about us and say, when I get worse, I'll give you a call. And then 5 years later, they call us. Yeah, okay, I'm kind of scared now. Can I join? Like, yeah, you could have 5 years ago, but it's interesting, right? So people, I learned a long time ago, like 30 years ago, it's very hard to sell prevention because it's just human nature, right? People wait until it's almost a crisis before they want to do something. It'd be better if you can get somebody before they're pre-diabetic or get a pre-diabetic to reverse that. But again, I've seen that be a very, very difficult thing. But when someone's got those symptoms, they're like, whoa, I don't want to get my foot cut off. What do I do? Help me. That's when they say, okay, I'm ready to change my lifestyle now. So that's what I've seen in my experience. So
yeah. And I want to emphasize, unfortunately, you can definitely reverse diabetes, but you can't always, if you have diabetic retinopathy, that may not be reversible if it's gotten that bad.
Right. You can reverse the disease, but not the consequences of the disease.
Sometimes. I mean, hopefully other times you can.
Right.
Yeah, so it's all on the timeline, right? Like you said, if you get blurred vision caused by high blood sugar, that's reversible. If you catch the retinopathy in the early stage, we've seen that reverse. But if it's there a while, yeah, it's not going away. Just like kidney damage, you catch kidney, like in stage 3 kidney failure, 100% you can reverse that, right? Getting them off the meds. But they're in stage 4, like already on dialysis, that's not reversible, right? With your feet, if it's already gangrene, can't reverse that. But if it's just neuropathy, that's reversible. So you got to catch it before it gets really bad. But I think luckily for a lot of these people, just the minor symptoms is enough to make them go, holy crap, I need to do something. And that's why they join our program. So
that's the bad enough philosophy that I call
exactly.
Is it bad enough yet? If not, come back when it's bad enough. We'll talk about it.
All right, now, can we go back to my question?
What was your question?
What's the patent? What do we?
Yes, we can go back to the question. Now we can.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, what we got patented was our specific list of foods and drinks that are allowed for a diabetic right? Because as you guys know, there's so much nonsense out there. Well, yeah, as long as it's whole grains, you're good to go. Dairy's okay. Oatmeal's great. You can have artificial sweeteners, no problem. No, there's so much nonsense out there that you can do if you want to manage your diabetes and keep taking your meds. But if you want to reverse it and get off your meds, there's a whole list of things you got to do over here. So we got that patented. We call it our enjoy avoid list, right? What you can enjoy, what you can avoid. And then it's also the ingredients and dosages of our nutritional supplements. So that's what we got patented. That's our secret sauce. Eat the right foods, take the right supplements. And the supplements, we have 87 different nutrients in our supplements. It's not just 5 things like cinnamon and chromium and blah, blah, blah. It's like 87 different things. So it took us a long time to figure that out. And that was really the thing that kicked us over the edge with the patent office. Because whenever you get something patented, number one, you got to show them, can you do what you say you do? Right? So we had to show them we could demonstrate we can reverse type 2. And then what's unique about you in the marketplace? And that's where the supplements came in, because nobody has our blend, because we made it. It's not sold anywhere. We went to our manufacturer, said, this is what I want in them. So those 2 things got us patented. Like if you just want to patent like a way to eat, you can't do that. It's got to be a lot more unique than that. So that's what our patented system is. So
that's amazing. So what have you seen? Like how many people do you see a year or a month, and what are the results?
Yeah, we've helped over 10,000 people to date completely reverse their diabetes. And so for us, the definition for reversing is an A1C of 5.9 or lower, taking no diabetic meds. So that's what our goal is. It's not 6.5 or 6.2. It's like, are you still taking metformin? Like one of our competitors, their definition is A1C 6.5, and you can still be taking metformin. Like, how is that reversal? You're still.
I have
that's masking.
I have a PR question, potentially bad PR question. Does that include taking berberine, which is similar in action and mechanism as metformin?
Yeah, but it's not a medication though, right?
Okay.
That's not prescribed. So we're talking.
I have no problem with that definition. I just want to.
Yeah, so it's completely no prescription medications and an A1C of 5.9. That means insulin, Ozempic, none of that garbage. It's completely gone, and your A1C is 5.9 or lower. So you have a A1C 5.9 or lower, taking no diabetic meds, you are good to go. You'll never develop a complication. You're fine. That's kind of what our benchmark is, and we actually guarantee results too with our program, which is really cool.
That's amazing.
So basically, though, if people do your program, do they have to stay on all the components of it for the rest of their life? Or are there things they can pick and choose and ease up a little?
So when they're done, like we put people on, there's 3 different programs. It's a 3-month, a 5-month, or a 7-month program based on the severity of their diabetes, right? So that's like a mild, moderate, severe case, right? So average one is a 5 months. So once they're done with the 5 months, right, and the A1C is back to normal, their doctor's got them off all their meds, and they graduate. So now they have to keep eating the right way for the rest of their life, but they don't have to keep taking our supplements every day. That's just there to kind of help speed the healing and help heal some of the damage from the high blood sugar. But they do have to keep eating the right way forever. But we do say, hey, you can have we call it a treat day, not a cheat day, a treat day 1 day a week once they're done. So eat well 6 days of the week, have that one treat day, and you're good to go as long as you keep doing that. And most of our patients don't even bother having the treat day because they feel so great. They've been eating the right way for so long now, they've seen the results, and they want to just stick with it because they don't ever want to go back to the way they were. But I think one of you asked a question earlier, like, as far as the difficulty of it, one of the reasons why they can do our program is because number one, it's not a diet. So they're not restricting calories at all. Like we give them that enjoy avoid list, say, look, eat as much as you want from that enjoy avoid list, to stay satisfied. Like don't overeat, but don't undereat. Yeah. Right? Because we don't want you ever hungry. Because if you're hungry, they're never going to stick with it long term. Right? That's why most diets fail, because you're starving like 1,000 calories a day, and nobody can do that. It's all based on willpower. So because it's not a diet, that's why most people can do it for the rest of their lives. And our supplements, some of them have some components in them that help eliminate cravings too. So those are the 2 reasons why we've had patients do our program every day for the last 15 years. Because it isn't as restrictive as people think. You can still go out and eat in restaurants, have a social life, not eating like, chicken breast and broccoli, 3 days, 2 times a day, because no one's going to follow that, right? So you got to make it pretty easy to do, but yet still get rid of those bad things that they can't eat. So
you can go.
Well, I'm wondering, how do you deal? You talked a lot about medication and insulin.
Yeah.
How do you work with patients if it's a telemedicine model?
Yeah.
How do you work with patients getting them off safely
Yeah.
if they're dramatically changing their diet?
Mm-hmm.
Those medications can become dangerous if it's
Yeah.
too low of blood sugar. So
Exactly.
how do you work with that?
Yeah. So the cool thing with our program is we're not stepping in the primary care role. So we're not diagnosing anybody. We're not prescribing their meds. We're not taking them off the meds, right? They're always under the care of their primary physician. We're just coaching them through the wellness program, right? And when the blood sugar gets below 110 in the morning fasting, their coach says, hey, Wendy, it's time to call your doctor so they can reduce the dose of one of your meds because it's getting too low. So they'll just call their doctor. They don't even have to go in for a visit. And they might talk to the nurse or talk to the doc. Hey, my blood sugar is like 95. Like, what should I do? Oh, yeah, we'll cut your metformin in half. So they do that over the phone. And that way they're getting that, a lot quicker response than, yeah, I go see my doctor once every 3 months.
Right.
Right. You're right. Because you can get dramatic results. And we recommend our patients on insulin. If you're say they're taking 50 units of insulin per day, we tell them, look, if you start our program, literally talk to your doctor. We recommend you cut your insulin to half the very first day you start our program, because when you stop eating the wrong foods, your blood sugar comes down very quickly. And we don't want them going hypoglycemic, right? Having a reading in the 40s or 50s. So that's how fast things turn around when you do the right things. And you guys have seen that, right? I mean, the human body has such a miraculous ability to heal when you stop screwing around with it, right? Just put in good food, and guess what? Your it's pretty healthy pretty quickly. So it's not real rocket science, but it's getting people to do it is the hard part. So,
Do you have any patient stories that are out of the norm that really stick out for you?
I guess probably the craziest one, because again, we get so many sick people coming in our office, like in I say office now, but it's like in our program. I'm so used to the offices, right? Where I'm like, I look, I'm like, I don't know if I can help this guy. I start doubting myself. We had a guy who was 450 pounds. He was taking over 300 units of insulin per day. He was on 13 medications. I'm like, I don't know if I can help this guy. 6 months later, A1C's under 6, off all his meds, lost 100 pounds. I'm like, wow. And we've had people with kidney transplants, heart transplants, lung transplants. I'm thinking, I don't know if they can be helped. We help them too. So I've literally stopped doubting how much the body can heal when you put the right stuff into it. It's proven over and over again. That's the biggest one, that guy. But we have people like one of our patients, Scott, A1C was 12.6. He was taking diabetic meds, blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, aspirin. And after 4 months, his A1C went down to 5.8. And his doctor took him off all of his meds, not just diabetic, but blood pressure, cholesterol, aspirin, clean sweep, 0 medications. He was in stage 3 kidney failure with his GFR on his labs, completely back to normal, because as you probably know, right? The biggest reason why diabetics start to have kidney issues is because of all the medications they're taking. These people are taking 6, 7, 8 medications per day for 10, 11 years. Your kidneys are going to get affected. It's like, try to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. What's going to happen to your lungs? Your body can only handle so much toxicity before it actually starts having effects. So that's what's really cool. You start seeing kidney improvement by people getting off their meds. So it keeps blowing me away every single day. You can tell I'm kind of fired up about this, because when we see people's lives change, then we're saving their lives. It's really that important. So it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. The thing that is, truthfully, one of the things that got me was that I was surprised that doctors would be willing to take people off their statins.
Yeah.
Because they had the diabetes diagnosis,
Mm-hmm.
that most doctors, I would think, would not be comfortable taking off.
Here's the thing. Yeah,
but
here's the thing, Ed, is that we basically force the doctor's hands, right? Because it's all based on the objective evidence, right? Why do doctors put people on meds? Because their cholesterol's too high on the labs, right? Or their blood sugar's too high, or their blood pressure's too high. So once those numbers start coming down, the doctors really don't have a choice. They have to start reducing, because what, you're going to let the cholesterol go down to 80? You don't want the blood sugar going down to 50. You don't want the blood pressure going down to 60 over 40. So we basically force their hand with the objective numbers. that say, wow, I better get this person off this med because they don't need it anymore. So doctors are okay doing that, but we got to give them that objective evidence where they feel comfortable doing that. So that's what we've seen in our experience. Yeah.
That's great.
Jeff, do people ever come to you and feel, I'll call it stuck? And if so, what's the first step that you get them doing when they come to you and they're just feeling really mired down in the diagnosis and the possibility?
Yeah, well, the first thing we do is kind of the mindset, right? Is really making them believe, like, look, guys, you can reverse this. We give them all the evidence, we show them testimonials, say, look, they did it, you can do it, right? And we've got people way worse than you. So, stop being anxious now, like be inspired, like, wow, like you can do it too. That's the first thing we got to get them to believe that it is reversible. Because once they know that, they say, okay, here's what you do the first 30 days. Stop eating this, stop eating that. And you watch how fast your blood sugar comes down. And because it happens literally the first day, they're like, holy moly. So it gives them that instant feedback, especially if they have the CGM, like, oh my gosh, I've never had numbers this low in like the last 5 years. So that's what we do. This is the first step. Is we don't even have them take supplements initially. The first 30 days is just teaching them how to eat the right way. Take away this, take away that. And once they see that feedback, it gives them that encouragement that, wow, this is really working. I can do this. That's really the first step with people when they're feeling stuck when they join the program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud. You said you don't need to take the supplements, but I know from our point of view, everybody needs to be on a vitamin D.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
nobody gets enough vitamin D.
Yep.
And that actually helps with blood sugar control.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of people need omegas. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. And a good multi may not be a bad thing, especially one that helps with detox, because we have all sorts
to your point, Ed, like, again, we provide our supplements going through that 3, 5, 7-month program, right? But when they graduate, they don't have to keep taking those. Now, we do have a maintenance supplement protocol that we actually sell to patients, say, hey, because I agree, like everybody should be taking something. Again, definitely vitamin D's, fish oils for sure. I mean, those are like the top of the list for me as well. But again, a good multi, which we have, and all of our vitamins are whole food vitamins. There's chelated minerals. There's nothing synthetic in our ingredients, which is one of the big things that we wanted with our supplements, so that we can get to a lot better results for that way. That in my experience. So we recommend it, but we don't say, hey, you have to keep taking our supplements, because most people have their own kind of one a day they like to take. So as long as we think it's okay, then we'll say that's fine, because we can't force people to take ours. But we definitely recommend them for sure, Ed, that they should be taking something, 100%. Yeah.
Is there anything we haven't asked you, Jeff, that you want to make sure that we tell the listeners?
The biggest thing I see is that, and you've probably seen this as well, is that the biggest question we get when people join and hear about our program is like, how come my doctor never told me about this? And that's a huge thing, because I defend look, it's not your doctor's fault. They're just not trained in med school how to reverse diabetes. It's like they literally don't know. That's why you've never heard about it, because they're not trying to hide it from you. It's like they just don't know how to do it. They're trained to diagnose it and then prescribe medications to manage it. So that's one of the biggest things. And like, that's why you don't know. That's why it's not as known as it should be. Because again, probably 99% of diabetics have no idea this thing is 100% reversible. And that's because their doctor never tells them that, because they're not trained to do that in med school. So that's one of the biggest things I want to if people are listening, like, this is reversible. It is, no matter what your doctor says, no matter what somebody else says, oh, you can't reverse it. Yes, you can. I always joke around saying, just because somebody doesn't know how to do something doesn't mean it can't be done. Right? Like, I don't know how to ride a unicycle, but guess what? People know how to ride a unicycle. I just don't know how to do it. So, so it's just, you don't know what you don't know. So that's one of the biggest things we get. So it's really exciting to see people's eyes go, wow, this is reversible? Holy cow. You guys got a patent to do that? Yeah. It's like, it's very, very fun to see that. So it just keeps, my wife and I were so fired up about this. And, again, we have that mission is we want to save, millions of diabetics' lives around the world. And we're going to be expanding our company into India in a couple months, and then start going international. So it's really growing, and it's all because we get results. And again, to have that guarantee that's one of the things that I want people to know too, is that at least with our program, try it. If it doesn't work, we give you your money back. So there's no risk in trying it. And because we get such good results, we're able to offer that kind of a guarantee, because, If we didn't get results, we'd be out of business, right? Because everybody wanted a refund. So it's really nice that we have that. So the only patent in the world, we guarantee results. Those are the things I want people to know, that it is reversible for sure.
Amazing. How can people find out about you? Where can people get more information? Sounds like an
We'll put
amazing.
this all in the show notes too. So
so we just, again, our website's real simple. It's called reverseyourdiabetes.com. Really simple.
right.
You can go there. They watch a free webinar. It's about 15 minutes long. Kind of explains the more details about our program and how they can have a consultation with one of our reps to see if it's a good fit. Yeah, so just reverseyourdiabetes.com. Really simple. Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right. Jeff, thank you for being here and
Yeah, it's my
for
pleasure.
being on the Feel Freaking Amazing podcast. Like, this is great information for people.
This
Yeah,
is pretty
thanks.
awesome. And
Yeah.
I just love the name of your podcast too. It's awesome.
Yeah, our
Really
podcast
good
producer
name.
loves it too, especially when I changed the name of the podcast in the middle of a podcast. He
There
was
you
really
go.
happy with me on that one. But
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Great to
Thank you.
meet you.
You too.